our management as well as environment. These are the 4 points where the industry productivity is highly dependent. So I had already been spoken about next the 4 cornerstones from RFPW, where maintained machinery, skilled and motivated workers, optimized and adequate resources, which are the cornerstone for the aggrandizement of industrial productivity. Next. So we have to make improvement in these areas. So I will focus on particularly on machine productivity. Means if we keep our machine healthy, certainly the productivity of industry will be healthy and will be increased. So there are 3 plants where we must focus on. That is predictive maintenance, preventive maintenance, and condition-based maintenance. So I will be focusing on 2 parameters. That is the predictive maintenance and preventive. Because condition-based maintenance, it is the unpredictable disaster. So we will focus on these 2 issues. Next one. So if one concentrate on further classifications where predictive maintenance should be applicable, then there are 2 areas where one may focus on. That is the power transmission devices and various process units of specific components. Power transmission devices means what? We will see in the next slide. Power transmission devices can be further classified into 5 categories. One is the shafts, coupling, belt, drive, chain drive, and gearboxes. Next one. And if we focus on the particular commodity wise, then crushers, grinders, mixers, and cutters are the main areas where one can focus on to improve the productivity. It is possible to execute the research to improve the industrial processes of any one of the above stated topics. So one has to choose the sub area where we can focus. For executing a research or improvement in industrial processes, the first thing which one has to have, and that is enthusiasm. If a person is not enthusiastic, he cannot do anything. He cannot do research even. We have to cultivate the technique for showing courage to take challenges. जैसे हम इंडस्ट्री में जाते हैं, हमको इंडस्ट्रियल असेंबली में थोड़ा ठीक करते हैं. What is the reason behind that? A small fear. Shall I handle it or not? Or there would be a problem if I handle this situation. अगर हम बिगिनिंग नहीं करेंगे, हम शुरुआत नहीं करेंगे, we will not get it. And for that cultivated technique, there is nothing impossible if you do hard work. Hard work is the second one which is required. If you are not hard worker, then nothing can be possible. Cultivate the school of thought that there is nothing like intelligence. However, what is required becomes intimately conversant with the area of research or area of interest. Yes, there is nothing like intelligence. हम बोलते हैं ये बहुत इंटेलिजेंट है, this is very intelligent. ये भी बड़ा इंटेलिजेंट है. How much you are conversant with the topic, how much you practice, how much time you have devoted for your practicing the problem, that is the intelligence. Because God has given the same equal amount of brains to every human. Newton was not a great scientist. He was not a great scientist. He became a great scientist after inventing something. He was an ordinary student when he was in the school. If I take an example of Faraday, he was the assistant of one of the chief scientists of Royal Society. He was just a second class student. He passed only second class. Then he joined the service. He developed that magnetic field. He even cannot describe how magnetic field developed. Because in India he showed his taking the research to the society law for me. And that's why Maxwell run and developed the equation of analytic law. After that, the society accepted that law and they ensured that he is scientist. If a person is to extend of 90% intelligence, 90% hard work, but having only 10% enthusiastic, your research cannot be complete in a way. Once you have decided the broad area and narrow focus area, so then next step is to perform exactly literature. Right. So keeping in all mind this the point we discussed here, so research was related to vibrations and the field which my student executed through this canvas. I will focus on that. Now, a very fantastic topic because when word vibration comes, we actually restricted ourselves. It would be more difficult, or there would be difficulty in solving the regulations and to understand this vibration. When I was a student in final year of BE, Professor D.R.G.D.MEHTA taught me. He was the scientist of DRDO, and he worked with APJ Abdul Kalam. He said that vibration is really fantastic, but I afraid that time. But I eventually had taken this subject, and my interest got a real shape, and it's very fantastic topic. So, this. So, if I focus on a very specific unit, that is a motor, a pump. This motor and pump is coupled with a coupling. So, coupling is a power transmission unit because it transmits power. Power is what? Is a solar torque into the angular velocity omega. Right. So torque multiplied by omega is the power. If I take a 1 power 7.6 watts, that is Newton meter per second. If I think about how much capacity the electric train engine possesses, so it would be around 4 to 5,000 HP. 1 horsepower means 8 horsepower. If my coupling is sustaining that much amount of load, 2 horsepower means 2 horsepower. If my coupling is handling that type of power, means that type of force, then certainly vibration will be. What do you mean by vibration? Vibration is nothing but through and fro motion of any body with respect to any position, upper side and lower side. It continuously vibrates in a cyclic manner. There is no answer. So we are dealing with that. So in industry, when I visited the industry, I found that they are confronted with various problems like misalignment of the supplements. Because misalignment it has the top priority and second one is the imbalance. Due to that, the maintenance time has increased. Because if we persist the misalignment, what will happen? There would be a catastrophic failure in the machinery. And as a maintenance person, it is our duty that we have to avoid such conditions in future so that our machine will run efficiently and our production will not be hampered. Right. So production will depend on production. Right. So when just a second. Next. So it is said that the coupling. There are so many types of coupling which are available in the market. We just know the star coupling, then the rigid coupling and flexible coupling. Only we know that. But there are so many categories of the coupling present in the market. So how we diagnose the machinery that our machinery is heavy? You can diagnose by 3 to 4 technological aspects by which we can recognize. One is the vibration-based condition model. By seeing the frequency of the vibration, you can diagnose, yes, my machine component is in problem. If there is a certain change in the viscosity of the lubricant which is used by the machinery, you can predict how much wear is there by only its now this is a very important diagram. Actually, in this diagram, these are the two rotors. This rotor and second one, this rotor. If I take this rotor is the motor rotor, that is the stator unit of the rotor unit of the motor. This is the rotor of the process unit. These two rotor shafts have been coupled with this coupling. This is the rigid coupling. Now, how to take vibration? Before taking the diagram data, I will explain what is the role of vibration. Actually, if I am suffering from a diabetes, so what I will do? I will go to doctor. Doctor will put a stethoscope on my back, on my heart, and will diagnose the signal whether there is abnormality in the signal or not. If it always that there is abnormality, so he will go for ECG. That is the ECG transfer. Then, on the basis of regular pattern of the ECG, he will predict. No, he don't have any problem. अगर उसमें रेगुलर पैटर्न आ गया है नॉर्मलिटी, तो he will say that or other patient right. So what doctor does is a health monitoring. He is a human doctor. But in our industry domain, we are playing the role of machine doctor. Machine can speak, but it speaks in its own language, and that language is every form, and that is not it's speaking, but we can't understand. We have to translate its language to our readable form. And that's why the instrument which is known as FFT, fast Fourier transform, is generally used in it. And one is active. This is telescope क्या होगा sensor. उसी तरह इससे accelerometer sensor. That senses the vibrations and it transfers into representable form, which is known as vibration spectrum. It is produced by the spectrum analyzer, which is known as fast Fourier transform. Second, हमारा जो सेंस किया जाता है ह्यूमन मॉडल, हम कहाँ रखते हैं? हार्ट में, कभी पेट. So in machine, this is the heart, bearing. Bearing is the heart because all these static and dynamic forces develop in the machine that have been transferred to the bearing, and that bearing becomes the center point. What do you mean by bearing? Bearing is a mechanical device which bears the load. Only bears the load, who developed that bearing? 8000 BC Egyptian had made this bearing, the concept of bearing. After that, the Professor Leonard had got the concept of bearing and friction. How to bear it? Actually, for the construction of pyramid, they used to make insulation of sand, and over the sand they put one wooden log, and between two plates of wooden log they place circular wooden logs, and after that they put a stone, and then they pull them. So here two phenomena comes into focus. One is the sliding friction and one is the rolling friction, and the total weight of the stone was beared by the wooden plate, and ground reactions comes together. That ground reaction is the reaction. What is the difference between load and force? This is the vulnerable question which actually instigates you to think over that. Load means what and force is what. Identically, they are similar, but why they are different? लोड है क्या होता है? फोर्स है क्या होता है? ये पहले पेटी देता है, पेटी में आपने कर यहाँ पे दिया मैंने, यहाँ पे फोर्स किया, तो ये अप्रोच इसके बेस पे देने वाली जो रिएक्शन है, that's the load. Load is the force, but it is opposite to the reaction, and always the reaction is considered to be load or weighted. Force weight कौन जा रहा है? According to Newton's law. नीचे से ground reactions are these reactions are the basically load, and that's why they use the load to apply dynamic and static load, and that is why it is necessary. Right? Next. So here, from three particular directions, we have to change the vibration. One is the axial, horizontal, and vertical. Here you can see that there are three types of sensors which are used in vibration based condition monitoring program. One is the displacement, then velocity and accelerometer. These are the three prominent sensors which are used. If your velocity, if your speed of motion is less, displacement slope is used. Moderate speed, you have to use the velocity, and above the 2000 rpm or 1500 rpm, you have to use the accelerometer. Next. Now, vibrations, this is the time domain. It's very sensitive. Sorry. This is the time domain. What do you mean by frequency? Frequency is cycles per unit time. हम बोलते हैं मेरी बात बताना 50 हर्ट्ज 60 हर्ट्ज फ्रीक्वेंसी इज व्हाट वो थ्री डायमेंशन टाइम डोमेन में क्या आ रही है वेव्स आ रही है और उसको कंप्रेस करके जब हम इधर से देखते हैं तो उसको फ्रीक्वेंसी डोमेन में देखा मींस फॉर एवरी टाइम सिग्नल of the vibration there is a particular frequency associated. From this concept, it is made clear that every component possesses natural frequency. When one of the natural frequency exactly match with the working frequency, the condition becomes resonance. Right? So every component possesses forcing frequency. अगर उस फोर्सिंग फ्रीक्वेंसी में ठीक दिखा, यहाँ देखिए ये पर्टिकुलर फ्रीक्वेंसी पे आ रहा है टाइम डोमेन, इसको कंप्रेस करके एक्स आरएमएस लिया है और एम्पलीट्यूड इधर से देख रहे हैं, ये हो गया फ्रीक्वेंसी डोमेन। इधर से लिखो टाइम डोमेन। एवरी फ्रीक्वेंसी पॉजेस इट्स ओन टाइम सिग्नल और यहाँ से देखेंगे एम्पलीट्यूड हो गया। हर एक कंपोनेंट का फ्रीक्वेंसी अलग, वैसे इनफाइनाइट it has a frequency or a number of frequencies. Prominently frequency. 1x means 1x means 1 time RPM, 2x means 2 times RPM, 3x means 3 times RPM. If frequency 1x means what? अगर मेरा टर्मिनल का चार्ज 3000 RPM पे दो, इसका मतलब मेरा 50 हर्ट्ज, सर आपको कैसे मिला? 3000 RPM divided by 60 करेंगे, frequency means 1 cycle per second is equal to 1 hertz. So 50 उसको डिवाइड बाय 60 करते हैं। अगर मेरा 1x यानी 50 हर्ट्ज, 2x यानी 50 मल्टीप्लाई बाय 2, 50 मल्टीप्लाई बाय 3, now एब्जॉर्बर का एब्जॉर्बर की दिक्कत आ गई। It means that there is a strong indication that your system possesses misalignment. Oh, it is not visible. However, I will explain. This is the offset misalignment. There are two conditions or three conditions. To misalignment, this is the parallel or offset misalignment. This is the angular and this is the combination. Sharp delta असा असतो. तर काय म्हणू आपण? Parallel. असा असणार. तो आणि एक असतो असा. Means it's a combination of parallel and angular misalignment. Next. We are forced into the situation of coupling misalignment. Alignment is sought when the two axes of the shaft does not match. They are not coincident. If our axis goes in difference, angularly or parallelly, then it is known as the condition of misalignment. We are forced into this situation because pump manufacturers do not make the motor and motor manufacturers do not make the pumps. So we have to bring these two entities at one infinity and we have to couple. Understand? That's why we are forced into the equation of misalignment. Second, there are exception cases such as centrifugal feeders and drivers. They are inbuilt into the motor because on motor cars they are the impellers and feeder impellers is there, so there would be not be any chance to have the misalignment. Yes. So there is another reason why we are forced into this situation, because every fluid pump has its own capacity, has its own dynamics. As it told mentioned, that's why we cannot manufacture at 1 unit. So we have to make another pump capacity of another unit. Next. Right. This is the spectrum of 150 HP motor coupled to a boiler draft. You can see this is the running speed. That is 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x, 6x, all x. If you multiple of that, and if there is an abnormal increase of the amplitude, then you can see that there are series of harmonics, and that's why there would be a chance of misalignment in the coupling. Next. Next. Diagram. Now, kindly see on this PPT, it's very important to understand the concept of distorted sine wave. Distorted sine wave. It's very important in case of misalignment. These are the two shafts. These two shafts are not coupled. They are freely moving. There is no strain on the shaft. There is no load on the shaft. But as soon as they coupled with each other, what would happen? They are in cyclic motion. Let us consider the center line of one shaft does not match with the center line of another shaft. What would happen? And if we couple it, what would happen? The entire housing sets into cyclic motion. One shaft will pull another shaft to come in line with it, and another shaft will pull another shaft to come in line with it. If it is purely balanced or purely aligned machinery or system, then what would happen? A pure sine wave of the time at that particular frequency will be generated. But with a stick issue here, a cutoff wall, what will happen? So that next one. ये करने से क्या होगा कि जो बेरिंग है उससे एडिशनल लोड है. These two shafts form under the phenomenon of tug-of war. That's why additional load will be created on sealing, on bearings, and the full exertion of sine wave will be distorted at the extreme point of the sine wave. Next. And hence, this full exertion of sine wave will be distorted by this, and this is the modified sine wave will be generated. And that's why many times at particular frequency we could not get a increased amplitude, and sometimes we will get some confusion to interpret the spectral domain of acoustic. These are the series harmonics of the vibration spectrum of a 30 hertz, that is 1800 RPM machinery. Next. Now, when these two shafts couple together, what would happen? By this coupling, what would happen if the misaligned shafts are coupled? They are actually vertical. Two shafts roll around each other, both shafts crossing angular motion bending techniques. Machine vibrates up and down vertically, back and forth horizontally, up and down vertically. आप कभी लगा के देखिए, मशीन नाचना चालू है. That is done. So it will back and forth horizontally, up and down vertically, and in and out axially. And that's why we have taken the vibration within the like vertical, horizontal, and right. So if we found 180 degree out of phase, up and down vertically, in and out horizontally, and back and in and out horizontally from front to back, and actually in and out. If we take readings from the two bearings from one side of pump and one side of motor, और हमको 180 डिग्री का फेज दिखाई देता है दोनों की, तो हम स्ट्रॉन्ग कर सकते हैं कि हम निकल, राइट. नेक्स्ट. is a very fundamental statement which has been given. That is, you cannot detect the severity of misalignment using vibration analysis. In other words, there is no relationship between amount of misalignment and the level of amplitude of activity. It means that अगर मेरा misalignment समझ लो 1 mm से बढ़ रहा है, तो हमारा जो परसेप्शन रहेगा कि हमारा जो का परसेप्शन का एम्पलीट्यूड भी 1 mm का है या 1 मीटर पर 1 mm पर सेकंड। मैंने अगर 2 mm किया तो वहाँ 2 mm पर सेकंड होगा। Your increased misalignment magnitude does not increase your level of vibration. There is no linear characteristic. It is a non-linear, highly complex phenomenon. Next. Now, intentionally what happened? We had made, means the author had made one test in which this is the pump unit and this is the motor unit. And here, previously, two pieces of rotating machinery coupled, misaligned by 10 mils per inch. What do you mean by mil? Mil is the unit of vibration. If I read the spectrum in displacement domain, then it is mils. If I read in velocity domain, mils per second. If I read in acceleration domain, mils per second square. 1 mils means 1 by 24 mils. इतना होता है। तो 10 mils पर इंच, फिर हमने डबल किया उसको, स्टार्टेड दैट किया, पहले 10 मिल रखा वाइब्रेशन की, फिर उसको 20 मिल किया वाइब्रेशन की ना, तो हमारा जनरल अंडरस्टैंडिंग ये था कि देयर विल बी लिनियर इंक्रीज ऑफ वाइब्रेशन। बट व्हाट वी फाउंड next we found this type of graphs. Sometimes they increase, sometimes they decrease. Sometimes they increase, sometimes they decrease. So why such type of complexity and non-linearity available in this dynamic system of coupling? So we will discuss. There are certain phenomena which are responsible to reduce vibration at one time and increase the vibration. So there are fundamental two types of forces based on fundamental forces, static forces and dynamic forces. Static forces means gravitational force, weak weight and chain tension, sharp misalignment and some type of hydraulic and aerodynamic loads, which are static ones. Dynamic is what? If I drive a bike, my mass is there, my linear mass, moving. Change of rate of displacement with respect to time is the velocity. Change of rate of displacement with respect to time is acceleration. Change of rate of acceleration with respect to time is jerk. Change of rate of jerk with respect to time is jolt. Change of rate of jolt with respect to time is tackle. Change of rate of with respect to time tackle is known as pop. Such type of action has been taken place. Dynamic is what? When I consider the static forces along with dynamic forces, and if I consider the inertial force, that is mass into acceleration, if I consider that force in my analysis, then it is known as dynamic. If I consider without the mass into acceleration force, then it is a static. Simple static. It is not dynamic. Understand? So dynamic forces में आता है out of balance condition. Essentially, product कितना इसका place change होता है. When place change, the forces will change. Of course. And when इसका force change होता है, it will change. Next. Then damage and friction bearing, intermediate period of gear tooth contact, pump or compression, impeller, brake passing by, stationary object, and electromagnetic forces are the dynamic. Now, it is general presumption that every coupling will show a same spectrum for a given thing. But friends, there is an information. Every coupling possesses different spectrum of vibration. And there are n number of couplings. I am showing here the vibration spectrum for flexible disc type. You can see these are the pattern: motor driven स्टेटर, मोटर ड्रिवन जनरेटर, सभी के अलग अलग है। आपका यूनिट भी चेंज हुआ तो वही कंपनी के स्पेक्ट्रम भी अलग अलग है। देखिए आप यहाँ पे 2x भी दिख रहा है, 2x and 4x. I will cognize the amplitude here only on 1x. Such type of cat. Yes. Now this is the vibration spectrum of gear coupling. Altogether different. Then observe vibration on jaw type coupling. Jaw type of coupling हम use करते हैं। ये है मेटल सॉरी पैटर्न ऑन ग्रिड टाइप कपलिंग और ये है पैटर्न ऑन टायर कपलिंग। सबके वाइब्रेशन के पैटर्न हमारे कंजम्पशन का सबसे एक रहेंगे। Altogether different because the dynamic forces involved in particular system is different, and these are the dominant to reduce the vibration at one point and increase the vibration. Now, one of the special techniques which are used in industry is the infrared thermography. Your vibration is not sufficiently show you the misalignment condition of the machinery, but infrared thermography is another one which can predict your bearing or bearing maintenance or well maintenance. हमने क्या किया कि the author, the test was conducted by coupling a 10 HP motor of 70 to 100 watts electric motor. So flexible coupling was installed. Next one. These are the couplings and these are the misalignment. If you increase the misalignment, there will be the increase of temperature. Yes. Yes. You can see the patterns are different. The discussion, I am very much thankful to Professor Theokrowski, who has developed the concept of misalignment. The case study which I actually had shown you, it was solely the work of Theokrowski, handbook of material misalignment. Professor Theokrowski, he actually done this case study. My intention was to show this case study is to familiar or categorization of misalignment and vibration. And my work which I executed with my students is the approach to understand the dynamics of fluid. In the previous one, it is stated that we don't know there is a relationship between the amount of misalignment and the vibration. Here we have executed the work. So I am very much thankful to University who has executed a very fundamental research in coupling dynamics and coupling. Now, we had taken a case study. We actually indigenously developed these three rotors and this coupling. Right. So we have developed an experimental setup. My next one. Now we have to go fast because it's very. We actually evolved the dynamics of these two joy elastic coupling. How the load torque and driving torque, in between that our coupling becomes a more member, and how they tackle these two torque and what type of forces they actually faces. Here it is given in this. Now, if I take a lecture on this dynamics, it will require 1.5 hours. So, I will skip that, only I will show you the results next one. Next one. Next one. Next one. These are the internal forces which are emerged in elastomeric material and on jaws. This is the dynamics actually. Next. 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 This is the load torque which is generated by the dynamics. What do you mean by load torque? How do you design the machine? How do you design it? How do you design it? How do you? हमको अगर मशीन डिजाइन करना है तो we will first ascertain the load torque coming on the machine. Right. So total torque is equal to TL plus I d omega upon dt plus PR. TL is the load torque. I d omega dt is equivalent load considering all the prime load. Total equivalent load or equivalent inertia of the system referred to the motor shaft or prime load multiplied by the angular acceleration plus PR means resistance torque offered in the bearing material or bearing element. If I consider this total cost, then I will calculate the total load cost. Then that total load cost and the speed at which you want to drive your machine, that multiply will give you the design power. This is the fundamental issue of design. Right. Here, my students have evolved the concept how the forces actually increases. Load torque gives the forces on the coupling and these forces gives the torque, increased torque. So you can see this is the increased torque. Now ये जो टॉर्क निकला इससे हमको निकालना पड़ेगा टीवी वो टीवी निकाल के हम बता सकते हैं कि पहले जो था विदाउट मीटर लाइन और विथ मीटर लाइन कितना टॉर्क और उस टॉर्क से कितना वाइब्रेशन बढ़ेगा हम करना। नेक्स्ट this is the vibration response of the bearing cap. This is the angle of rotation. Angle of rotation. This is the bearing reaction increase due to the increased misalignment of the two jaw elastomeric coupling. And we have considered this bearing cap as a single mass, single stiffness, and single damper unit. And excitation force is this, which is coming on the bearing, and we had this type of vibration of the bearing cap. Means increase load will give the fundamental vibration of the bearing. हमने बोला था bearing क्या है 10 kg. An approach to formulate the prognosis here. Next one. Now we have developed this experimental setup. This is the motor. These are the two bearings. These are the two rotors, and this is the rotor. These are the two accelerometers in horizontal and in vertical direction. From this, we have measured the vibration amplitude at different positions. For this, next one. Here we formulate a model. The model is the prognosis model. So we have developed identification of variables. These are the processes to make the equation between the amount of misalignment and the response, that is the vibration amplitude. Next. There are the independent variable and dependent variable, which is which is the integral part of this phenomenon, and one is the extraneous variable. Next. These are the least dependent variable, that is the vibration amplitude. And there are so many types of independent variables, speed, mean bearing, positions, equivalent distance, load torque, so many fundamental independent variables which are responsible to induce this vibration. We have reduced total parameters into 4 pi terms, that is pi 1, pi 2, pi 3 and pi 4. This is the dynamic term. This is the equivalent term of this system. This is the stiffness term of this system. And this is the equivalent length of this system. Next. We have done the test plan, test envelope, test point, and test equation. For any experiment, you must have this type of test envelope means at what point you have to take maximum data and at what point you have to take minimum data. This is the test envelope. Then the range over which the independent variable are varied within the experiment is called test envelope. On the next one. These are the test points. So during the experimentation at particular point, you set your external setup. That point is known as test point. Right? That is why the RPX is already. Test point is the test point. If I take 20 RPX, 20 RPX is test point. Test sequence is the irreversible experiment or reversible. Irreversible means अगर आप move forward में फिर पीछे नहीं. or reversible means you can come back. You can arrive at previous position of experimental point. Next. Next. So these are the, as I had already spoken about three frequencies x1, x2, x3. At this frequency we had noted down this data of vibration amplitude in velocity mode, that is mm per second, and by using the values of dependent variable, that is vibration amplitude, and the values of independent variable of the system, we had developed the regression equation by putting this value in this uh, matrices. We have formed three models, that is in horizontal and in vertical. So this Y is the amplitude, vibration amplitude. These are the patterns. This is the indices. Right. Now we have developed the equation. अभी इक्वेशन कर क्या है? पाई1 यानी हो गया मेरा तुम्हारा इनर्शिया रिलेटेड पैरामीटर, आपका सिस्टम इनर्शिया रिलेटेड पैरामीटर डाल दो, फ्रीक्वेंसी डाल दो, लेकिन इसे डाल दो डायनामिक सिस्टम डाल दो, आपके सिस्टम मेरा इक्वेशन बता देगा कि वाइब्रेशन एम्पलीट्यूड कितना प्रेडिक्ट होगा। सर मेरा सिस्टम कुछ है, आपके इसमें फील्ड कितनी है, यही तो कम है, आप लोग अपने डाल, तो यू कैन टेक a predictive model, and that's why it is known as general equation. So now qualitative analysis we have done. I will skip that. Next. पहले दिखा सकते हैं qualitative. See, pi1 is the mass moment of inertia. इसका इंडेक्स है -0.9, इलास्टिसिटी कैरेक्टरिस्टिक का -2.0, डायनामिक का है -0.08, इक्विवेलेंट लेस का है 1. Indices of the part. Negative indicates it is inversely proportional. Which proportional? Here, in this case, negatively, the 2.0 is having the maximum magnitude. Therefore, it is stated that the elasticity characteristic for the relative vibration amplitude is more dominant than the. So we have to focus on that. If we want to mitigate the vibration, we have to strengthen or optimize that vibration. The value of competing constant is 1. So 1 is a good bond. तभी अपन ने 1 क्या करता है? It indicates that all possibilities to take the independent variable you have chosen there. There are certain analysis which is being implemented for quantitative analysis of the model, sensitivity, optimization, and reliability. Next one. Sensitivity means your pattern, how much it is sensitive. If I let us consider 10% increase here, then 10% occurs. It is not. This taking is nothing but this sensitivity. How much sensitive the pattern is. And optimization is what? At what value of the pattern you will get a mitigated value of vibration. हमारा क्या उद्देश्य है? वाइब्रेशन कम होगा, तो वो ऑब्जेक्टिव फंक्शन क्या होगा? जो डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल छोटा होगा. That's why optimization, from optimization we will get the optimized value of the particles. Next. So we have done that. This is the sensitivity analysis. Pi1, pi2, pi3. You can see that pi3 term is most sensitive than इसमें हमने क्या किया? हर पाइथन में 20% प्लस माइनस 10 सबने चेंज करके y की वैल्यू निकाला. This is the decreasing order of sensitivity. Next. Optimization. Next. These are the procedures. Next. This is the obtain the optimum values of the quantum at which the vibration amplitude is used. Reliability of model, it is indicating the chance of failure and indicator to show the performance of the model. जो हमारा आया है ये हमने प्रोसीजर निकाला है. Next. These are the reliabilities we obtain from our model. It is an approximate model. It's not exact. That's why it has a proportional quantity and it is a simulating the extension, right? So here, these are the reliabilities of that model. Next one. These are the conclusions. An attempt is being made to understand the relationship between amount of misalignment and growth of amplitude and form the rigorous test. It is revealed that it falls under non-linear. So there is no relationship between amount of misalignment and amount of vibration amplitude. Next one. Next one. These are the responses. मेरा यही कंक्लूजन था जो मैंने बताया कि there is no relationship between the amount of misalignment and amount of vibration. Right. So vibration, I invite you to work on this concept. Very soon I will actually organize a workshop. I will be discussing that. I will explain from right from the beginning how the vibration starts and how it contributes to the advanced vibration. So if you would like to join that workshop, you can. It is a free of charge in PC for students and faculty. Right? So you have my number and email ID. My number is this monopolistic, you can do. And if anyone is interested to join that workshop, you can. We are invited in that. And my last request, which I feel students. Everyone researching, not in some research. People भी कभी पब्लिक होता है तो वहाँ एग्जाम if you come out with new concept, you have to write rejections आते हैं क्योंकि हम अभी रेफरेंस देते हैं क्या फायदा क्योंकि देखो पब्लिश what is the हमारा एक को भी रिसर्च होता है तो my humble request, do the research for the sake of the benefit of the society. Only getting a degree is not really research. You have to do something for the society. आप एक पेपर निर्माण करता नहीं, हजारों पेपर हो जाते हैं does not do. एक आपका काम, एक प्रोडक्ट जो आपके सोसाइटी में जाके आपका नाम कर, आपके उससे किसी को हेल्प हो, वो Am I right? So very request. Research यानी क्या है? Invention यानी क्या है? कुछ तो भी अलग करने की इच्छा, कुछ तो सोसाइटी को देने की इच्छा. मुझे एक में बताइए कि हमने प्रोडक्ट बनाया है क्या? बनाना चाहिए प्राइवेट करेंगे. तो it is our duty as people to make a research for the society. Am I right? ये मेरी humble request. देखो मैं जो आदमी को सबको मालूम है कि मैं वर्किंग फॉर एवरी टाइम आई एक्चुअली ऑर्गेनाइज वर्कशॉप फॉर द रीजन इज दैट तो हमारा दायित्व बनता है हमारे स्टूडेंट को अंडरस्टैंड करें हमारे स्टूडेंट को नोट और वो स्टूडेंट ऊपर जाते हैं तो मजा आता है हमारे में 3 लोग कभी जलते नहीं आपकी तरफ से सिर्फ 3 लोग नहीं थे एक आपके माँ बाप और एक आपके जरूर तो बस यही एक मेरी गुजारिश है जो भी आप रिसर्च कर रहे हैं जो पढ़ा है उसके साथ कुछ तो भी सोसाइटी को मिले कुछ तो भी अलग करो मुझे बोलो ठीक है थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर हैविंग पेशेंस टू लिसन माय लेक्चर
Thank you very much, sir. It was a very informative session, and we are very thankful to you. Now I am requesting to Dr. Nitin to say few words.
Actually, MEHTA and myself work for 5 years. हमारे साथ Fdp Session was again a part of our team. everybody works together. Actually, we have a lot of competition type of environment और एक साथ सर भी आएंगे अभी, ठीक है? साथ सर नेता सर हम लोग there are sometimes for debate like work अभी जैसे करने होता है कि there was a competition but that is not a for other competition, that is for healthy competition, ठीक है? And that's the reason that we have made good relation. सबने जो कोर्स का है कि that whatever the research that you are doing, that is not only for the sake of your degree, but PhD degree, so that is not for promotion. हमने साथ में काम किया बट फिर और वन ऑफ इन पीएचडी स्टूडेंट हमारे भी अंडर जो स्टूडेंट है सर्टिफिकेट साथ करते कि भाई फेस एनी प्रॉब्लम वी विल गेट इंटरेक्ट विद ईच अदर नाउअडेज हमारी सर के साथ में हमारा डिस्कशन होता है, ठीक है? सर्टिफिकेट में हमारे तो इसलिए सर को भी पता है कि दैट आई वाज व्हाट इज माय पीएचडी टॉपिक एंड व्हाट इज माय कंट्रीब्यूशन that when you are doing the PhD on the PhD topic and it is a really honor for me. On that topic, I am going to complete the work of industry. Fdp Purani thermal power station, Upper power station, Bhusawal power station, Excelitra coal lab Nagpur, then Parak power station, then Pune clean laboratory, Navy, Nagpur का जो Navy है, that I have with all my big PhD research topics that I have completed the work of this number of organizations, and that's why I feel very proud when I get a chance to work with my mentor and my guru Dr. Nathi sir. With that such kind of work, जैसे सर ने बताया कि पेपर नहीं की वर्क चलता है, but when we solve the problem or industry, जब हमने इंडस्ट्री का प्रॉब्लम मेरे गाइड के साथ में प्रॉब्लम ऑडिट फेस करने के जाता था कभी, ठीक है? तो ऐसे करने को पता है कि सर को भी पता है मेरे पीएचडी के किससे हमसे इसलिए पता है, ठीक है? एक्सपर्ट मेरा सेमिनार के टाइम हमारे एक्सपर्ट ने मुझे रोक दिया, ठीक है? ऐसा वैसा ठीक है, बट दैट इज माय गाइड हैज ओनली टेकन द स्टैंड कि नहीं मेरा ये जो पीएचडी स्टूडेंट है इसके पीएचडी वर्क के कारण माय गाइड हैज get a benefit of near about 1 crore rupees. मेरे पीएचडी के वर्क के कारण मेरे गाइड को 1 करोड़ प्लस बिजनेस हुआ है एंड जितने भी मैंने नाम लिए आज भी उसकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जबकि एनएसएल का काम होता है मेरे गाइड आई एम वेरी थैंकफुल टू हिम. मेरे गाइड मुझे अभी भी कॉल करते हैं आई एम टेकिंग द ट्रेनिंग टू द इंडस्ट्री 2-3 दिन के वर्कशॉप में अभी भी कंटिन्यू वर्कशॉप ले लेता हूँ जैसे सबके वर्कशॉप इसी के साथ अभी भी मैं लेता था. सर पता है कि whenever you do the work, when you do the work for the society, then you will get the benefit not only for the sake of your paper degree. ये मैंने PhD कर ली, मुझे 3 इंक्रीमेंट लग गए, प्रमोशन मिल गया, that is not the purpose, ठीक है? And there should be a healthy competition. जैसे सर ने बताया कि तीन लोगों को जलन नहीं होती है, एक माँ बाप और एक तो मैं उनमें और एक क्या करूँगा जो एकेडमिक में अच्छे दोस्तों से, ठीक है? उनको भी कभी नहीं लगता कि मुझे ये नहीं मतलब पीएचडी बन गया मुझे ये नहीं आता है. आज भी मैं सर को फोन करते आते हैं, मुझे फोन करते हैं अभी सर एक तो आपके एक पीएचडी स्टूडेंट का अभी लिखा हुआ है तो भैया कंप्लीट ऐसा नहीं कि हमारा पीएचडी हो जाए तो हमारा वर्क स्टॉप हो जाए. फिर भैया हेल्पिंग द डिफरेंट स्टूडेंट हु आर गोइंग टू कंप्लीट द वर्क ऑफ द पीएचडी एंड पीएचडी गाइड का एक रोल नहीं होता कि एक बच्चों को सफिशिएंट होता है कि यू विल कंप्लीट द वर्क ऑफ दैट स्टूडेंट. जब वो गाइड से उठ जाता है तो मुझे वाइब्रेशन का काम पड़ा तो मैं मेटा से दूंगा, मैथमेटिकल मॉडलिंग का काम पड़ा तो दैट आई से सारे सर को यदि काम पड़ता है यू टेक माय हेल्प. तो दैट इज द इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी एंड दैट इज द गुड अप्रोच देन यू विल गेट सक्सेस इन द सोसाइटी एंड दैट इज द नीड ऑफ टाइम बिकॉज नोबडी विल बी परफेक्ट इन दिस वर्ल्ड. तो जो ऐसा बंदा होगा कि उसको परफेक्ट समझता है he cannot do anything. He cannot do anything. तो आज भी मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ आफ्टर कंप्लीशन ऑफ माय पीएचडी आई एम डूइंग एमबीए. मैं अभी भी एमबीए कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि एमबीए कंप्लीट करने के बाद मुझे एमए इंग्लिश लिटरेचर करना है, ठीक है? So that we should get some knowledge and we should get something. So in life I have thought that I should be the student. हमारे स्टूडेंट है टीचर भी मैं कुछ सीखता हूँ ये हमारे बहुत होना स्टूडेंट है, ठीक है। तो from everybody that we should learn something. हमारे junior स्कूल में हो, ठीक है, junior कॉलेज में everybody that we should learn something that is the reality of our life. With this, I am very much thankful to my friend, Dr. D.R.G.D.MEHTA for accepting my invitation and spending the time for this valuable session. Thank you. After this session, there will be the break of 5 minutes, and after 5 minutes, Aman sir will do the paper. ठीक है, बेटा आप लोग after this, they will do the paper and they will complete that practice.